Welcome back to the Teaching and Learning. This is Abdul Kapoor. I hope you are doing good. This video is for early child development teachers. I'll be solving some important questions from the study guide. Now, the purpose of the solution, these solutions that give you more tips to how to stick around the correct answer. And the second thing that you can easily utilize your test time. You can save your time. So the strategies are very important, as well as the content information and the knowledge also important. But uh, the strategies are playing very significant role in test solution for in all competitive exams and all. So here I'll be unfolding the terms that has been used in the questions. And sometimes what happens, they use the same terms, but in a different manners. Okay. For example, if there's an option for cognitive, emotions, critical, and what we call inductive or divergent thinking or the reason, and the answer is a critical thinking, the next time they will give you not critical thinking. From these options, they can give you the 6 heads of thinking. They can give you the inductive reason, they can give you the abductive reason, they can give you the deductive reason. So it's not uh, only that you have to know the answer, but you should know all the parts of the questions uh, before appearing in the exams. So I'll try my best to give you the maximum information, and that will help you in your PCD pedagogy. Let's start. Let me share the slide. Okay, as you can see on the screen, this question is from the study guide, and I have already answered in my previous video. But here that will help you more because when we experience, and that gives more ideas about that. Now, why are 3 years old children less likely to have a tantrum than 2 years old? The tantrum is the angerness or frustration. The question is why 3 years old children less. So that means the 2 year child is younger than the 3 year. This is the first logic we have to apply on it. Okay. Now just apply these terms on your children's. Okay. Your son, daughter, or nephew, and all. That who is more frustrated, the one younger one or the older one? And these things, by the age or by the time when the children grow, okay, they always decrease, the angerness, frustrations. Okay. If I look myself, or my children's, okay, my 2 year, the son, he is, always, the angry and shows frustrations and very stubborn. But my daughter, she is, elder than my, the son, and she has spent that time, and so she left that stage of the development, and she has a patience and all these things. Okay. So why are 3 years old children are less likely tantrum than earlier? This is the when grow by the age. Okay, there are other reasons to show their feelings and anger and frustrations. Okay, I give you the background of this. Okay, let's talk about second thing. Remove the two irrelevant answer by saving. You can save your time. Thinking on 4 options is not a good. But thinking on two options, that's a good habit. Okay. So when you have a less, the choice that you can be easily, increase your score. Less the situation that provokes their anger decrease comparing the situation witnessed by 2 years old children. So it's not talking about the situation. So that's an irrelevant. Remove it. This is talking adult start to listen more, which reduce their frustration and anger. Especially, we are not talking about the adult. The 3-year age is also the the early child. Okay, because they learn. So we have removed AB because they learn through comparison with their friends and how to control their feeling. So this little bit, because they learn from their friends and all these things. So there's a communication. That's why they what you call imitate. They copy the things and all that. Why my friends is not doing okay. So this little bit makes sense for that. The D, because they start realizing that there are more ways to express their feelings and develop an ability to control their violent emotions. Okay. This is the correct answer for that. Okay, that they realize themselves. Okay, when they grow, they realize themselves that we can express our feelings by different ways. Okay, however, the C is the distractor. So the first thing what you're gonna do, understand the question. Second thing, remove that irrelevant answers. Two, and then start thinking about the C and D. Okay. Now, some of you think that it's the time taking all now. Of course, it's not a time taking. If you know the tantrum, that you understood the question, okay, you don't have to think, okay, because when you're looking at the question, you easily, that you understood or not. If not, then you have to spend on the time. Moving to the next. How can the principle of individual differences be applied practically, effectively, and quickly? Individual differences in the classroom. Keep in your mind, how can the principle of individual differences applied in the classroom practically when you teach effectively? That should be effective quickly within time. Diversify activities and their levels, preparing individual activities for each child, determine development assignments for each education cycle, setting up a curriculum for each child depending on their. From my side, I don't think so there's any distractor here. We don't prepare a curriculum for individual child for each level. Remove it. D, remove. Determine development assignment for each educational cycle. Educational cycles mean like the phases of the school: KG, elementary, middle, and high. We are not determining, the education cycles. So this differentiation is not for the school differentiation. You are not teaching a school, you are teaching a class. So first thing, the question is talking about the differentiation and simply differentiate instructions, right? So remove it. Preparing individual activities for each child. We have 40 to 45 minutes to teach, and we cannot cater, that each child. In a classroom, we have a 20 children or 25 children and a standard format. That if we are spending 5 minutes on each child, 5 multiplied by 25, we don't have enough time for that. So, of course, the diversifying the activities according to their. In each classroom, we said that there are the 3 levels of the learning: lower, middle, and higher. Diversifying activities accordingly. This is we call the differentiated instructions. I hope this will give you the better understanding for that. Of the methods that could help the teacher determine the strength and areas that need development in the children's learning is methods that could help the teacher determine the strength and areas that need weakness and strength. Okay, what methods gonna help to identify the weaknesses and strength? Of course, we do these methods during inspections. Okay, every day we do in the classroom. Now, how we identify the strength? And so first, we should know that on base these strength and weakness points, there should be a measuring tool. This is a scale, right? How you are measuring, which document, which tool you are using to measure the strength and what we call areas of the development. There are the certain benchmarks. Okay. Now, these benchmarks I mean the standards or the curriculum. Okay. Of course, right? For example, your study guide has a standards. Okay. Now, standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7. You will be evaluating accordingly. If you performed well and you got the pass, okay, then that means your strength point. Okay. If you fail, that means you are in a weak area. Now, what weak areas will be? Standard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which weak area is that? So the descriptor has or indicator has been set for that, and you will be evaluated accordingly. Let's talk about the question. I hope that you understood the question. Let's talk about the answers. Linking each child's learning outcomes with their peers. Okay, that means compare, link learning outcomes, what they have achieved with each child. Okay, doesn't make sense. Linking each child's learning outcomes with the predefined performance indicator, what they have achieved and what are the set criteria. Make sense. Linking. So first A eliminated. Linking each child's learning outcomes with the teacher's prior expectations. Means comparison of the learning outcomes and learning expectations, not objectives. So we can consider this is talking about objective. Okay. Okay. That's the one thing. Okay. We can make sense. Okay. We can use this also. C also. Linking each child's learning outcomes with the highest achieving children. So linking each child's learning outcome, each child what they have achieved, and compare it with the highest one. Okay. So of course, that's not a benchmark. Okay. Remove A and D, completely irrelevant. Now B and C. Now B and C, learning outcomes and prior expectations of the teachers. Okay. Now we are checking this performance based on not the teacher's expectations, because maybe one teacher is performing very good, another is an excellent, and one of the teachers performing very low. Okay. Then the performance of the same grade will, if you're going to compare, the expectations are same, but learning outcomes will be different. So the C is the destructure, eliminated, and the correct is the B. Performance indicators means the standards benchmark set by the curriculum, or for example, Common Core standards, NGS standards, or English standards, course standards, CBSE standards. Okay. They set the standard based on you are learning, or you will be measuring the learning outcomes. Okay. Skill 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 achieved according to standard, descriptor, indicator, and then you will be finding if not achieved, how much achieved, that will be the gap. Okay, you can easily identify the gap as well as moving towards the next. Okay, what steps are included in an effective listening strategy? So in effective strategies, listening effective strategies, sorry guys, what steps are included in an effective listening strategy? Effective listening strategy, right? Effective listening strategy, so that's a keyword. Presenting a group of words to students inspired by the content of the text. So this is not about something, listening, so irrelevant. Showing picture to the students and asking them about their expectations regarding the audio text. visualization and audio. Keep in mind, right? Visualization, showing picture, audio, auditory. Okay, so these, that makes sense. Playing the text from the beginning of the students to listen. Playing text, audio, only audio. That makes sense. Discussing with the students the strategy of auditory disconnection, and it's important. Discussing. It's not listening, discuss is something that you are not the listening, okay, something. So we are getting the different the ideas from that strategy and making the differences for that, okay. So that doesn't make sense, okay. A, D removed. Now we have a B and C. So in a B and C, in a C we only listen. Then what? So effective listening strategy when is that when you are assigning a task, when you are asking somebody to listen and do something. How many senses we use? If you use more senses in layered theory, uh, he explained the senses theories of the senses, in which he said the practical thing, okay, they is a more effective than only the lecturing and all these things, okay. So when the showing picture and the listening or doing something, okay, that's a more effective. So that's B. Among the first skill gained by the students in auditory disconnection. Auditory disconnection. That means auditory discrimination. Okay. Fill in the blanks is in spoken sentence with appropriate words. Creating words are from series of various phenomena. Fill in the blanks. Student auditive. Fill in the blanks in spoken sentences with appropriate. Okay, when you speak and then fill in the blanks. Okay. This is the one thing is talking about. Creating a word from a series of various phenomena be removed as no auditory. Distinguishing words starting with the same letter from a series of spoken words. Okay, makes sense. Naming words expressed by specific picture by listen to them. So naming the words from a specific picture by listening to them. So that is not making any kind of the the discrimination or uh, distinctions. So that's also removed. Now we have how many spoken and D. So fill in the blanks in spoken sentences with the appropriate words. This is talking about then with the appropriate word, but that doesn't make the auditory disconnections. Okay, so when we are using kind of the same letters with same pronunciation with same you know the sounds. Okay, I'll give you the example for that, and that makes sense. Okay, so C, that makes the distinguishing words starting with the same letter, just like we can say cat, pet. These are the having the same starting kind of the voice and sound syllables are from a series of spoken uh, words. Okay, the C is the correct answer. This comes into the auditory the discrimination. This is the ability to notice and distinguish between the separate sound. This is a crucial in being able to same similar but different words apart, like a bed, pet, or 70 or 17. Okay, this is so these things and strategies and questions. I'm sure it's gonna help you. And I have a more question. Let's talk about in an interpretive reading class, the teacher aims mainly to, when you assign a reading task, what do you think the main ideas of it? To train for reading, introduce students to general idea of the text. Of course not. Learn new vocabulary within the text. Of we can make not for vocabulary. So C and D is removed. Reading, this can be for train students to read fluently. Okay, that's one. But the question is interpretive reading skill, interpretation. So when we are interpreting, that means we are predicting and extracting the idea. So A is the correct answer. Thank you. And one more thing. I'm offering online classes for upcoming pedagogy exam. And if you think you need the extra classes, okay, I'm offering in a very reasonable price. Okay. The contact detail and email has been given. If you want to know more about that, okay, please feel free. If you want any kind of support, okay, feel free. Okay, we'll be meeting in the next lesson. Till that, take care and good luck.